And everyone, you hear the Duck Man. So out of Windsor Leagues Club with Dean Jones, the Rugby League manager of Windsor Wolves Leagues Club. Dean, thanks for your time this afternoon.
Mate, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate your time today and coming out, have a bit of a chat about the club and everything. Been a bit disjointed start to the season. How have things been here at the club with all the rain and all the tough times and things that are happening at the moment?
Mate, if I could sum it up in one word, I'd say it's a nightmare. Just with having so many sides this year and the one field to train on. It's been so disjointed with the rain, but no one can stop the rain, mate. It's just one of those things we had to keep rolling forward. So we're doing all right, mate.
You guys still use Colonial Reserve as well to train on and that sort of stuff, or just in here now around here?
We've been allocated Colonial Reserve, but we've only probably used it once in the last 3 months. It hasn't been mowed because of the rain. But we're supposed to use that, yeah.
So how many sides you got in the club this year?
Mate, this year we've got 38. So going off last year we had 27. This year we've got 38. So it's a massive increase, which is a pain in the bum to get them all in one field. But it's a good problem to have, mate. So to have 38 sides, so yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be having a lot of numbers than struggling and looking around. You got any sides that need any players or anything like that at the moment you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, mate, we're always looking for players in our under sixes. So if anyone's got a 5 or a 6-year-old looking for players, but definitely we've got a under 11s / under 12s combined side. They can hold up to 17 players. They're currently on 13. So if anyone knows a 11 or 12-year-old that is interested in playing, yeah, just give us a shout out.
So what's the rego cost for that sort of age group and under sixes and that if anyone is interested in playing?
For sure, mate. So our under sixes is $150, under 12s is $160. But we accept the active kids voucher, which is $100 from the government. So that'll knock it down to about $50.
Yeah. What do they get in with their rego? They get
they get footy socks, they get footy shorts, they get training shorts, they get a training shirt, they get a polo shirt, and we design jerseys, and they get to keep their jersey at the end of the year. So well worth the $150.
Yeah, that's probably more than what the whole rego's worth in the first place.
Yeah, mate. We do give them a pretty good discount here. Especially all the gear is probably worth well up over $180, $200. So plus they get to play rugby league. So
yeah, so got good facilities here too. Still too. So once back in the day when I was here in the 90s and that around here, the field was always good, but now I've got the grandstand. People can come straight out of the club.
Since I used to play, like I'm 36 now, probably when I was about 16 or so, they used to have an old little dugout. There's actually an old photo floating around of an old dugout in front of the grandstand. I think the board, a while back, they put in for some grant. I think the government provided them with a couple $1 million, and they built that brand new stadium, which is we're very grateful for and very lucky to have. It's pretty much the only one around. Obviously in the Hawkesbury. So
yeah. Now you had the Ron Massey Cup side a couple of years ago. Is that still active and going now?
Mate, last year, 2021, we had the Massey Cup, the Sydney Shield. Fortunately, the club took a massive hit with COVID in the last 2 years, so we really couldn't afford to hold those sides again. So this is the year that we thought would be more of a rebuild year for the club. We went back into the A grade. It's not as a financial burden on the club with the match payments and all the other stuff affiliated with those two sides. So we've got an A grade, but yeah, not so much the Ron Massey Cup and Sydney Shield. Maybe one day, I think in a few years' time when the club gets back on its feet, but you're just not now.
Yeah. So I noticed you got an under-18s women's side too. For the first time ever, you had a women's side, the club too.
First time ever. Actually, the club has had a ladies' side, so they've had an open women's. They've had an open women's a few times, which has been good, and we probably look at maybe doing it next year. But this year is the first junior league side, so we've had an under-18 girls. It was hard, mate, really, really hard. I worked at St Mary's a few years ago, and they had no girls' teams, and to do it in a big, strong area like St Mary's was tough. So when we took on the challenge late last year, found a really good coach in Paul Memo. I knew it was going to be tough, and we started with probably 5 or 6 girls for about 4 weeks, and we just kept holding on. He kept ringing me. I was like, mate, hold on. And he kept holding on, and slowly slowly they built. They played their first game of the weekend. I think they ran on with 17 players.
That's good.
Yeah, mate, we're at
full side, full bench.
Full side, and they had an 18-0 draw. Yeah, mate, it was really exciting for them. So
yeah, so it's good. Got progress there to build for the future. So obviously now will be to build on junior girl sides as well coming forward. So what's the youngest full girl side someone could have in? So
mate, we've actually got an under-11s league tag. So they've started that competition this year. The league tag is a form of the game. It's not actually tackle, so they can play the same rules, but they just don't tackle. So we've actually entered a league tag under 11s. They can do under 12s tackle, so they've got an under 12s competition in Penrith. So we're hoping that these girls, the idea of the game is they learn to play rugby league and they're just not ready to tackle, and then hopefully they all enjoy it this year, and then they form a team in the 12s tackle next year. I think it's a great idea for any girl who isn't quite ready to tackle yet. So we're hoping, mate, that team turns into a 12s and they stay around for the 14s, and then we just keep building and have girl sides every year.
Yeah, I do think it's a good step up, and it's a lot more involved and probably better than going from touch football to league. Like, there's more contact in it, and you get more response. You probably get better numbers too, wouldn't you?
100%, mate. I believe everyone thinks it's the same type of game, but it kind of is and it kind of is. There's so many different rules in touch football. I think this league tag is exactly like rugby league. It's got scrums, it's got competition points, it's got kick for touches, all that sort of stuff. It's just not tackle. So I was introduced to the game last year when I was with the NRL. So I think it's a great concept, and it's good. It's working good. We had our first game on the weekend, and hoping to have our second one, hopefully at home this week.
Yeah.
So.
You got any scouts out and about you sent up the road to the netball courts looking for any potential players next year, or around the soccer grounds, AFL or rugby and stuff like that?
Actually, one of our coaches, he floats around the Oz tag. So his daughters play in the Oz tag at Norwest. I think they play on a Monday night. Yeah. So he actually floats around asking if they want to play. So I think that's the best transition, because Oz tag's great, but if they wanted to play league tag, because they play for grand finals, they get jerseys, they get the full kit and caboodle. So like our girls are getting a big kick out of it.
Yeah. So I noticed there's a couple of sides now around with like under 18s girls side, which is really strong for the Penrith competition.
Mate, it's huge.
And you got some now with women's sides as well. So how big is the women's and girls competition, like player depth-wise and club-wise in the Penrith district?
Mate, I think the juniors is a lot stronger than the open women's, mate. I think the 14s, the 16s, the 18s, sometimes you see that they do tend to fall away a bit. So I think the 14s and the 16s age group, actually the 12s too, is quite strong. Obviously the physical aspect of the game can be a bit daunting for some of these girls, because you do come up against a few of the bigger sides in the Mount Druitt area. So a few of these smaller Hawkesbury girls, they get a bit timid, but we've been smart with our approach this year, and we've entered our girls into second division. So it's all about where you're entering. Like these girls, it's their first year in rugby league in the 18s. You don't want to be putting them up against these bigger girls and getting hurt, and then they just, in 6 weeks' time, they hate the game and they pull away. So I think it's all about being smart with clubs about where you put the girls, and then you get to keep them for year after year.
It's a development pathway, obviously.
Massively.
So, how many people? So you got your first grade squad now. How many people are running in your first grade squad?
In the A grade, 2021. I think we had 21. Like I said, it was a tough transition again, because all of our senior sides, both senior sides, we probably had over 40 players. They all don't really want to play A grade. They want to play at that higher level. So they basically all left. So basically had to start from nothing. And a lot of the senior players around the area are already tied up at A grade clubs. So we started from scratch. It was tough. We had an open trial. I think we just had open invitations, and the coach has done a really good job, Steve Cameron, to recruit some good players. We've got a very young side. It's going to be a real tough year for us, but it's more of a rebuild year for our club. I think I'm planning on keeping these kids together and moving into next year.
Yeah, I noticed you had a bit of a tough day out against St Clair the other week, but you got some big boys in that St Clair team.
Yeah, mate, they're always a well-established club, St Clair. They're always going to be tough when you play at Pepper Tree, and I'm not too sure. I didn't really follow the A grade last year, but that side might have been there last year too. So
So how many juniors do you reckon are in that side at the moment in the A grade side?
For the Wolves?
Yep.
Off the top of my head, I know I just recruited one more to come back. Mate, we've probably got six
That's
juniors, but majority of the kids and the team are from the Hawkesbury, so they're from around. Like we had a few from Londonderry, a few from Hawkesbury, Border Play, and I wanted to enter First Division because I wanted these kids to have that opportunity to still play at a decent level. So it is going to be tough, but I think we can do it.
Do you like the local competition as well? The fact that Londonderry's got a side now, Londonderry's back, and got Hawkesbury City and all that, Rivo.
Yeah. I just kind of wish we would play against all those sides. They're all in second division. It'd be good to get some local derbies here at the field or at Londonderry or Hawkesbury. I know Hawkesbury have been tough for a while, so have Londonderry and Rivo. It'd be great if we can come up with some kind of Hawkesbury Cup and we'd all play each other.
That's what I was going to say. It would be good for an end of season thing or something, a little mini tournament.
Mate, I played. I worked here back in 2015, and I did this job, and I played A grade Division 2. We played on the field out there against Hawkesbury on Friday night. It was packed. The crowd was packed. It was it was a good vibe.
I played a couple of trial games here back in Windsor back, I reckon, 96, 97, before I transitioned back to rugby union over at Hawkesbury Valley, and played against Colleton and played against the club I used to play school football with, Cambridge Park, and they come out. They were gun teams at the time, tough sides. So they got a massive crowd. They had no grandstand. Everyone was sitting on the grass and throwing beer cans.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah,
it's mad when you're the home side. When you're away side, it wouldn't be so good. But
mate, I happened to walk through Cambridge Park 2 weeks ago. A grade. It hasn't changed. They're all on the drink there. It's it's wild. It's wild. I can't wait till we go there.
So have you got any big days or a special day like you would like to promote or focus?
Mate, I'm terrible with dates, but we do have actually, no, I do know off the top of my head, but it's in a while. We've got our 110 year reunion. So this is so we were formed in 1902, I think it was, or 1912. So we planned a 110 year reunion of the Windsor Wolves. So we're going to do a season launch this year, but late at the end of the year, I think it's the 30th of July. We're going to have a big night here, but on the 31st, we've planned to play Glenmore Park here, have a big Back to Windsor Day. We're going to invite everyone who used to play for Windsor, coaches, players, as many people we can get, and we're going to have a big day here at the field. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, fabulous. So that's something that everyone in the local area can get down to. I'll try to make sure that I get out here as well and give us some coverage. So any positive coverage for local sport is a good thing. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your time today. I really appreciate it, Dean, and I'm sure I will catch up with you again throughout the season.
Mate, thanks for having me, and if anyone wants to play for the Wolves, you know where I am. So.
Yeah. So there you go. Just remember, stay tuned for Pulse FM on Friday night, 6 till 7 p.m, and Sunday night, 6:30 till 7 p.m, and you'll catch us on Duckman TV later on the day. Keep on ducking, everyone. Catch you soon.